Hi, my name is Rebecca, and I'm one of the admins at the Etsy Search Help Facebook group. And I'm here today to bring you episode 3 of Etsy's SEO chat. Today, we're going to talk about the magic number of listings. So let's just dive right in. One of the questions we received is, does it matter how many listings I have in my shop? I read that the shop would be more visible when I reach over 50 listings. So the short answer is no, it does not matter how many listings, but there's always more to the story. So we're going to look at a few examples, and then we're going to come back and talk about quantity versus quality of your listings. So first, I was going to give you a little bit of a history with my own shop. Now, currently, I offer pet products. And when I started, I had less than 45 listings. I probably had 10, 15 listings, and they were everything. They was like, you're seeing I'm kind of clearancing them out. I used to do a bunch of crochet. I had patterns. I had one time art, jewelry. I had everything, and it was just crazy busy. So what I did was I tried to keep expanding my products out into things people were interested in. If I saw people really favorited this poncho, but didn't ever buy it, that's kind of what inspired me to go ahead and create this pattern. And then when I saw people buy the patterns, I started making more patterns. When I made the patterns, I tried to experiment. Okay, do people like patterns for toys? Do they like them for pets? What do they like? When I started making them for pets, everything took off and kind of went boom. At the time, I had around 45 listings. And at that point, things started to get stable for me. But I really didn't notice it starting to get super steady until I got closer to this 100 mark here. But how much of that is actually related to the number of listings I added versus the way I added them? We're going to talk about that a bit more today. Before I get in there, I'm also going to show you a couple of other examples from other shops on Etsy. This lady sells octopus hats, or crochet patterns for them and the octopus hats. She has only 2 listings, but over 1,500 sales. Let me close out of here. This was on the homepage of Etsy for a while, if you guys remember that. 4,256 sales, only 58 items. There was a dinosaur one too I was trying to find, and I did find this one. 400 sales, only 8 items. So as you can see, the number of listings you have does not exactly correlate to your sales. But like I was telling you with my story, again, there's more to it. There's quantity and there's quality specifically that I'd like to talk to you about today. Now, when I say quantity, I mean strictly how many listings do you have? And when I say quality, I mean what value are those listings bringing to your shop and to your customers? Now, I'm probably going to use my shop as an example here because I'm just very familiar with it. And I'm going to go ahead and go through the pros and cons of quantity, just adding for quantity. A lot of new shop owners try to do this. They think, I only have 10 listings, I need more. Or you might be at the point where you have 40 listings and you're wondering, if I add more, is it going to help me? It can help you in certain ways. For example, if you think about having let's just start here with tags. If you think about just having 10 listings, that means you have 13 tags and 13 titles with which to get found in the search, because Etsy's search does look at your titles and tags. Now, if you have 100 listings, that's 1,300 opportunities to be found in the search. So again, when she's asking, I think Alexandra did say, I read that the shop would be more visible when I reach over 50 listings. That's what people are talking about. When you are creating new listings, if you choose your SEO wisely, you can actually spread it out so that you're getting a lot of visibility in the search. If you're interested more in that, I recommend looking at Marmalede's article about the bucket strategy. They actually have a really great resource there for how to think about how many keywords to use in which listings and so on. But for today, we're going to go ahead and stick to the topics we have here. More listings also means more chances to experiment with your products. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like in my own shop here, for example, I was originally selling crochet, like I told you. And then I started selling patterns. It was kind of an experiment, okay, will people actually buy the patterns for my creations that I'm making? And the answer was yes. So by adding more products, I chose to add products that I thought, maybe I'll play around with this and see how it goes. And that worked out really well. There's a downside to that too, but we'll get to that in a minute. The other thing is more chances to find your niche or style. And again, I'm going to use my shop. I experimented, like I told you guys, with different things like the plush, and I'll tell you that has not sold for me. I've tried; it does not sell for me. So I'm gradually, taking some of it out of here. But what I did also experiment with that worked was the pet accessories, and I'll tell you for sure that I'm definitely going that direction with my shop because that is what took off for me. And I wouldn't have been able to find that if I hadn't added more products to my shop and tried to experiment and find out what my niche and style is. But again, when we think about these things, this is kind of what you want to be doing gradually, or especially in the beginning as you're a new shop owner. What we don't want to be doing is just adding listings for the sake of adding listings, because then your quality suffers. So we're going to talk a bit about the cons. Now, one problem I had when I was adding in all these listings is I started out with just everything. I had, I don't know if I explained this initially, but I did have art in here. Like I had pet portraits, I had my own art, I had jewelry, I had mosaics, I had everything. Anything I could make, I had. So crochet was one of those things, but when I first started out, I had just tons of stuff here. And as a result, when you came to my homepage, you didn't get this nice look. You can't tell, okay, this is a person who likes to crochet fun hats. You got to feel like this person's just selling everything. And that created sort of a lack of focus and a clutter on my shop. There were too many things, too many different product lines. It looked a little bit unprofessional. And, to be honest with you, I had a hard time picking what to focus on at any given day of the week. Do I make more mosaics? Do I try to write more patterns? Do I try to make more dog hats? Do I try to crochet a new poncho? Do I try to make some newer jewelry? Do I buy some more supplies for my jewelry? Those were all different problems that I was coming into. So if you're adding just a ton of listings without that focus on, quality, on the value that it's bringing to you, that can be a problem. The other thing I was going to talk about is if you add your listings quickly and you don't really pay attention to it, you're just adding them to add them, and you just want to get them in there fast, you can lead to having lower quality products in your shop that, again, look more unprofessional. And people are going to see that. They're going to maybe click on it, or they're not going to buy it. If they see something and they go to your shop, they're either not going to view it or they're not going to buy it because they're looking at it thinking, okay, the photos look kind of shady. I'm not really sure if I've got the right view of this, or I'm not really sure if I understand what it is I'm buying. So we want to avoid some of that stuff. We don't want people to kind of click through everything and then not purchase or have problems like that. If you're using those photos that are a little bit dodgy, then people aren't going to give you the views. And if you're using like maybe a poor description, or you don't really give the customer all the information they need, then they'll click through. And again, they aren't going to find what they need. They're going to bring down that conversion rate a bit. So where does that leave us? Oh, sorry. My recommendation is to think about quality when you're adding your listings, and to make sure the listings that you're adding are bringing value to you and your customer. So right now, if I'm thinking about adding new listings to my shop, I'm not terribly worried about it at 115, but let's pretend I only have 30 listings and I'm thinking, what do I add to my shop? I'm not going to be like, okay, I want to start selling art again. I'm going to be like, okay, well, people have said they really like the cat hats, and I don't have a lot of them yet. So I'm going to go ahead and remake some of my dog hats to fit cats. Or maybe people really love this lion mane, but they want it available in like 10 different colors or something. I've had gray, black, whatever requests. I'm going to go ahead and make more things like this in different colors. or things like that. Halloween's coming, and last year someone wanted a candy corn hat. Maybe I can start adding a candy corn hat to my shops. I would start creating listings in that fashion. I would grow my listings based on my past experience and where I want my business to go. So that is the, I guess, big picture that I'd like you guys to think about when you're thinking about adding listings. I do think, in summary, that it does increase your visibility, but you have to keep thinking, about what visibility you want to have and what value it's bringing to you and your customer. So I hope this was helpful, gets you thinking about ideas. If you have any thoughts or comments or questions, you're welcome to post them on this video. In the meantime, I'm happy to be here, and I will stop by again when we're ready for episode 4. I'll be checking by the Facebook group to see what questions have come up and things like that. So if you have any questions, or if you want us to take a look at your listings as a critique, please feel free to drop by here. If you do a little search on this side, you can find the screencast post where we are taking suggestions. Thanks again. I'm going to wrap this up for now. Appreciate it and hope you guys have a great day. Bye.